Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Just Keep Swimming podcast. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Mr. Adrian Jackson, and we back in the studio again with another great episode for you. And over there recording, you already know who I got, Mr. 13. And before we even start this episode, I have to say that if you're loving this beat right now, make sure to check it out on 13's new album dropping May 29th, Heavenly Connection album. It will be fire, it will be lit. You already know this beat is amazing. This beat will be on the album, so you don't want to miss it. Please check it out. The Heavenly Connection album produced by 13, dropping May 29th. But with that being said, I just want to have a small conversation with you guys today about enjoying the journey. Being transparent on the Just Keep Swimming podcast, we always talk about integrity. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a little mishap yesterday where I just kind of stopped enjoying my journey. And, I kind of just got myself balled up all in my head and my feelings and my emotions and stuff. And, after a good conversation with my mom, I was able to realize what's going on with myself. And, I kind of pulled out 3 things from that conversation with her that would just make, I feel, everybody's journey fully easier. So the 3 things I pulled out is don't stress. Whatever you want is coming. Be patient. And last but not least, keep faith alive. And so let's go ahead and start and just go through all of them. First and foremost, please, let's not stress, people. I know life is difficult. I know it's hard. I know there's a lot of hard times going on right now. Me personally, car issues, jobs not giving me what I want, trying to get another job and it's not working out the way I want to. And it's just like frustrating, and it's really get to the points where you just sometimes want to shut down and close yourself off from the world. But you can't do that, This is all just a test. So don't stress. It's a test, bars. So you want to just make sure that you just relax and truly enjoy the journey. And one thing that really helps me out is breathing. So I was listening to an amazing TED Talk the other day. I do not remember it on top of my head, but it was really focused on breathing. I will put the link in the bio so you can check it out yourself. But the guy, he was really talking about how breathing is the source of life. Because, if you guys read the Bible, God started off with breath. He put the breath in man. So breath is what we really have to learn how to control. And for 3 little tips he gave us about breath. So there are 3 different types of breathing exercises that we can practice to help control our breath. 1 is to just relax yourself normally. 2 is to get yourself ready to go to sleep, to not keep yourself up all night. And the 3rd one is to wake you up, pretty much, to get you the energy to do what you need to do. So the first one is very simple. All we're going to do is breathe into your nose for 4 seconds and then breathe out for 4 seconds. So let's go ahead and try it now real quick. So in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. And that breathing exercise is really good just to relax you in the moment, to help get your mind back under control, to help get your heart rate back in control. Work is starting to stress you out. You're starting to feel a little ramped up, kids blowing your ears off, whatever the case may be. Just try that breathing treatment, do it 4 times in a row, and see how you feel after that. Get you into a quiet place if you got to. Go into the bathroom, sit on the toilet, do whatever you gotta do to get secluded, take some breaths, and relax. And then the second breathing treatment is more of you're ready to try to go to bed. You're trying to truly let the day go. Your day is over and you just really want to just truly just let everything go. So the only thing different about this one is it's going to be out for 10 seconds. So for this one, it's in for 4 seconds, out for 10 seconds. So we're going to try that right now. So in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now how does that feel? felt pretty good, right? Got you a little bit, helped you control that heart rate and slow down that heart rate and get the blood flowing a lot smoother. So that was the breathing treatment for bed. So just to relax, in 4, out 4 for bedtime, truly close the daytime, in 4, out 10, 8 to 10. And the very, very last one is going to be to more hype yourself up, to more get yourself ready to tackle whatever task you got to tackle, because you're feeling lazy, you're feeling tired, you want to go for a cup of coffee, but you're tired of coffee. Coffee is no good for you. So this breathing treatment right here will really help you wake yourself up and get yourself some more energy. So it's going to be in for 4, but then it's going to be quick bursts out for 8. So we're going to do 8 quick bursts on every second. So let's try that right now. In, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And that one right there, do that same thing, set of 4. And I promise you, you will start to feel a little more energy, a little more drive to do what you need to do. So, like I said, the main thing we need to do in life is not truly stress, because a lot of things that we're stressing off of aren't even real. We're stressing off of our imagination, off our thoughts. So there's things that we don't need to truly stress about. Definitely things in the past. Definitely things in the future that haven't happened yet. Only focus on right now and what you can truly control. And that actually brings our first story for the evening. So this story right here is about a thief. I'm gonna call this story "Stress for Nothing." So, so pretty much there was a thief that one day he was pretty much spotting out this bank, checking it out for like 2-3 weeks. Decided to finally hit the bank, and this is, mind you, this is back in 1968. So the thief went, and he was able to go through. He was able to get into the bank after hours with the janitor. He was able to take about, a few $100,000 out the bank, and then he ran away and hid himself in 2 states down. But the thief, after he did this, he was just so paranoid that he was going to get caught that he was like, you know what? Let me move farther away from that bank. So instead of moving 2 states now he moved down to Mexico. And then he was like, ooh, Mexico is a little too close and they still might get me. So let me move out somewhere else. So he moved to Brazil. And then now he's out here living in this lifestyle that anytime he sees somebody in a suit, he runs. Anytime the cops see him, he starts to sweat because he's living with this stress that he's going to get caught so bad. And so one day, something happened with the family, and he had to go back to America pretty much to finish to visit the family. And while he's out there visiting the family, he's out there paranoid because he's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get caught. And, he went to church that weekend, and something about that church service made him feel that maybe I should turn myself in. So he decided to go down to the local police station, which was in the same city as the bank. And he walked up to police people and said, hey, I'm here to turn myself in. And the cop was like, oh, okay, for what? He was like, I robbed a bank. He's like, oh, really? What bank did you rob? He's like, oh, I robbed a bank on, this in Fort Apache back in 1968. He's like, oh, really? Let me check my records. The cop went, checked the records, came back. He's like, yeah, we have no record of this bank being robbed. He was like, what do you mean you have no record of the bank being robbed? He's like, yeah, there are no reports of this bank ever being robbed in the history of life. And so the guy finally sits down, takes a breath, and he's trying to understand what's going on. Like, so I've been running my whole life thinking that the cops were looking for me, and they never even reported the robbery that happened. So it's like, I'm out here stressed for nothing. I'm out here just working myself up. And, long story short, it turns to find out when the bank saw the money was missing, they just counted it as a loss and kept pushing, because there was something wrong with the stock market anyway at the time. So they didn't even care about chasing down the guy or assuming that it was truly stolen. So, with that being said, let's just not stress, because a lot of things that you're stressing off of, things coming back to bite you in the butt, they may not even be coming. So don't stress that. All right. Second thing I want to talk about today is be patient. I know that we all want more. We all want so much more out this life that we're living. We want a better car, a better apartment, better relationships, more money, healthier body, cleaner eating habits, things that we want for ourselves, things we want for other people. I know we want so much, but we have to learn to truly be patient and wait for it to come, because we're out there trying to truly force things to happen, and forcing things are never going to truly happen. One of my favorite verses is, what's truly for you will come to you. And I don't know, that's a Bible verse, it's a quote, but whatever it is so beautiful and I love it. So I'm gonna keep using it all the time. So one thing I just want to say is, let's not focus too much on always trying to go get that thing that we feel that we have to make ourselves happy, because 9 out of 10 times the thing you believe you need to have is not what you truly need to be happy. And with that being said, leads to my next story for the day. I know you guys are loving the stories. So my next story for the day, I'm gonna call this the 2-part journey. So a long time ago in ancient Asia, there was a young boy pretty much, and he was living with his father and his family. His father, mother, sister, everything like that. And the young boy was coming of age, and the father was really trying to figure out what is something I can teach my child that he will always remember for the rest of his life, even after I'm gone. So after a lot of thinking, the father finally came up with a great idea on how to teach the child. So the father pulled the child to the side at his 16th birthday, and he says, okay, son, you're becoming a man now. And, I knew this day was coming. So what I did was I put a treasure under a tree that is about 50,000, 100 miles that way. You have to pretty much go find your treasure. It's there for you. Here's a map how to get there. Go find it. So the son said, cool, I appreciate you, Dad. I'm about to go find my treasure. So the son runs to his room, packs up his stuff for his journey, and he jets off and starts a journey. And he's moving so rapidly to pretty much get to his treasure. He's only sleeping when the sun sets. Right when the sun rises, he's getting up. He only eats when he's hungry, only drinks when he's thirsty. And everything that he does, all he's focused on the treasure. On his journey, he runs to people such as an innkeeper who let him sleep at the inn at night for free. He thanked the man and kept it pushing. And then he met another old lady with a farm who gave him some food for the journey. He thanked the old lady, kept it pushing. Finally, he got to the location on the map where his treasure was supposed to be. And it was supposed to be by this big fig tree. So the son goes and digs around the fig tree, and he digs up the tree so much that he almost digs the tree out the ground because he's looking for the treasure so bad. And finally, the son sits down and just looks in the sky and is like, where is the treasure? Maybe somebody else beat me to it. I guess I'll just head back home. So on the son's journey on his way back home, he stops and he starts to realize the waterfall that he passed up that he didn't see on the way there, or how green the trees were, or that one of the trees right toward the lady's farm was full of apples, and he could have been eating apples off the tree. And then he runs back into the lady at the farm who helped him out. And then the lady, he actually sat there for a few weeks with the lady and helped her on the farm to thank her for earlier for the food. And on his way back, he runs to an innkeeper again, who lets him stay for another night. But that night turns out to 3 weeks, as he sits there and helps around the inn and shows his appreciation from the innkeeper. And finally, he makes it back home after a 2-year journey. It took half a year to get there, but it took a year and a half to get back. So finally the father was like, my son, I'm so glad you're home. Tell me about your journey. Did you find your treasure? And the son said, originally, father, I thought I didn't, because I was so looking for the treasure that you told me was there that I was just chasing after that, and I didn't really enjoy the trip. But on the way back, I slowed down my walking speed, and I really enjoyed the scenery, enjoyed the people, enjoyed the towns, enjoyed the experience that I took from the whole trip that I had. And that right there, I believe, was the treasure that you really wanted me to find. The treasure that's going to make me enjoy life and enjoy the journey that I'm on. And the father smiled with a tear in his eyes, like, yes, my son finally learned the lesson. And, I think that right there is like a beautiful story, because it shows how, a lot of us always chasing that fame, chasing that instant gratification, chasing the money. And as we're doing that, we're missing out on things. We're not holding the door open for the person that we should have held the door open for. Or we're not being kind to that one kid that asked us for help because we're so focused on this, that, and third. And I just want to say that we truly need to slow down, focus on the journey, and understand that what we need will truly come to us. Because what the boy needed on that journey was to see, was to experience life, was to understand the beautiful land that he was in. And that's what really came. That turned out to be his true treasure. So let's not stress. Let's not be impatient. Let's enjoy the journey, because what we want will come to us. And last but not least, let's keep faith alive. We can't let go of faith. So listen to a lot of Napoleon Hill. It's pretty interesting how they talk about faith is one of the only things that science truly can't test. Yes, there are a lot of things that science can test, but faith is something that they can't measure. They can't put a finger on it. Doctors, a lot of doctors, sometimes they don't have it because all they do is focus on the stats. But faith beats stats. You know what I'm saying? Keeping faith alive beats anything that happens in the natural. Faith makes things happen that you wouldn't imagine happening. As long as you continue to believe that it will come and that it will happen, it will happen. You have to just keep your thoughts positive. And one of my favorite quotes from Napoleon Hill is, keep your mind on the things you want and off the things you don't want. Because you can't have the negative and the positive in your mind at the same time. It's like, say they both are wolves. If you feed the negative will grow stronger. So you have to starve the negative and feed the positive, let the positive wolf grow stronger, and soon he will outbeat the negative wolf. But you have to learn to just feed the positive. You can't keep feeding them back and forth. And trust me, I struggle with that daily. I fight the negative, I fight the positive sometimes. Sometimes I accept the negative, sometimes I accept the positive. And I need to learn to 100% stop fighting and truly accept the positive and reject and fight off the negative, because the negative wolf does nothing for me but bring me down. The positive wolf brings me up and keeps my light bright. So we just want to make sure that we sit here and we keep faith alive and we focus on the things that we truly want to focus on. And that's going to bring me to another little story about true faith, I feel. I'm going to call this true faith. So one day there's a dad on the farm. He's in the farmhouse working on the tractor, whatever you want to call it. He's working on some equipment. And as he's in the farm, he's sitting there, and then he sees his daughter come running at him full speed, screaming, waving her hands. So then the dad goes running to the daughter, like, what's wrong? He's like, me and Billy were playing by the lake, and he fell into the water. And so the dad, once he heard that, he just took off running toward the lake, and he just pretty much dived right in. So as he's underwater, he's trying to look around, but he can't see his son. And he's praying that he didn't get swept upstream with the river. So he starts to resurface, and as he resurfaces, he sees something on the little dock pole just squeezing with his all life. So he goes back up, grabs a breath, comes back down, and sees that it's his son on the pole. So he was able to finally pull his son off and pull him out the water. And by the time they all caught their breath, he finally asked, son, what were you doing underwater holding on to that pole? And he was like, I was waiting for you, Dad. And I just find that deep, the idea that the son had such faith in his dad to come and rescue him that he just stayed where he was. He didn't try to rescue himself. He waited for his dad to come help him out. He waited for the universe to conspire in his favor pretty much. And, it feels like that a lot of times. We're underwater holding on to a pole waiting for the boat to come save us. But, we gotta have faith that it will come, and I promise you, if you can not stress, keep faith alive, focus on what you want, it will come. It will truly, truly come. So yes, people, I just want to say, let's just truly, truly focus on staying positive, keeping a good heart, keeping a good mindset, and, just enjoying this journey that we're on, because this journey is super duper difficult. It's difficult for everybody in the world, but you know what? You're not the only one on a journey. Everybody's on their own journey. So let's be kind to people, let's love each other, and let's assist everybody else on their journey. And I should throw in a bonus story, huh? Yep, bonus story. All right, bonus story then. So I think this story will wrap it up fully. And I actually got this story from The Alchemist. So if you haven't read the book The Alchemist, please read that book. Not too long. It's only about a few hour audio. Lovely book, amazing life stories. But one of the stories that was told in The Alchemist was a story of this boy who was pretty much looking for how to get rich in life and how to be wealthy. So one day he decided to journey up on top of the mountain to meet the very rich and wealthy guru. So when he walks into the castle, he expects it to be, a little dull in there, but it was so wild inside the castle. There was music going, there was people cooking food, there was people dancing, people talking over there, and all the way at the end of the room, at the end of the courtyard, you can see the king right there was surrounded by people, everybody trying to get his advice and understand what's going on. So the boy decides to walk up to the king/guru, and he walks up to him, and the guru says, "Son, you have to wait a little bit, come back." So then 5 minutes later, the guru walked to the kid and said, "What can I help you with?" And the son said, "Well, I'm here to figure out the meaning of life. How do I get wealthy? How do I get bigger? How do I get better?" Then the guru said, "That's a good question. I can't answer that for you right now, but what I need you to do is take this spoon." So he gave the kid a spoon. He poured some oil in the spoon. He said, "What I need you to do is go and walk around my whole castle, but do not spill the oil in my spoon." So the kid said, "Okay, I can do that." So the guru goes off, and the kid goes off on his journey around the castle, keeping his eye on the spoon so sharply, making sure not a single drop falls. So he walks around the whole castle, gets back to the guru, and then he walks to the guru. The guru asks, "So, how was your journey?" He was like, "Oh man, it was great. I didn't drop not a single drop of the oil." He was like, "Oh, okay, but what do you think of the castle?" He's like, "What do you mean? Did you see the pictures from Mozart, or not Mozart, Beethoven, whoever the hell, that's music. Did you see the beautiful paintings? Did you see the original Mona Lisa? Did you see the elegant piano? Did you see the beautiful waterfall?" And the kid was like, "No, I didn't." So then the guru said, "Okay, so I need you to go take another lap, and this time I want you to pay attention to the surroundings and actually enjoy the castle." So the kid did the same thing again, walks off with his spoon and his oil, and he's enjoying the views now. He sees the lovely golden piano keys on the piano, and the beautiful oak wood floors, and the drapes above the dining columns, and all the amazing foods, and how the kitchen had a stove with 20 burners on it, and it was just so amazing. He just fell in love with the whole castle. So then finally he gets back to the guru, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, you're right, the castle is amazing." He's like, "It is, isn't it? But what about the oil?" And then the kid looks down, and the spoon is completely empty. He spilled all the oil on the journey. And then the guru finally stops and said, "So that is life's greatest story I can teach you. You have to focus on your oil, but at the same time, you have to enjoy the castle. You have to focus on keeping your gold and keeping everything stable, but at the same time, you have to enjoy the view." And it truly is a balancing act. It's the hardest balancing act you're ever going to do in your life. You can balance so many things. I've seen people balance chairs on one leg, and I think that's still easier than trying to balance out your life. So, yes, with all that being said, man, we have to just learn to enjoy the journey, y'all. So let's just enjoy the journey. Let's just keep swimming. Let's stay positive. Let's keep faith alive, and let's know that we will get there. This too shall pass. We are not stuck. We are on the right path. We're still breathing. We're still living. We're still seeing things. We're still growing, and we still have a long way to go. So let's just enjoy the journey. Don't focus on the goals. Let's enjoy the journey. And with all that being said, hope you guys learned something today. I hope I helped somebody out. Any questions, comments, concerns, please send them to our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter, TikTok, or jkspodcast702@gmail.com. And make sure you check out this latest beat and Mr. 1-3's latest album dropping on May 29th, Heavenly Connection. You don't want to miss it. And with that being said, I hope you guys had a wonderful day, a splendid afternoon, a blissful evening, and remember, just keep swimming.